Well, hello my friends. Back on iDos and having fun as usual. Or should I say, spending more money as usual. Yeah, two packages, over $2,000. that easy. And it's non-stop. So, what I want to show you today is we got a few, three to be exact, replacement hatches for these. Earlier on, we replaced all the small ones throughout the boat. And I'm not sure if I showed that, but that was a very simple project. Was basically just remove two screws from either one of these ends, whichever one would want to come out, and there's a pin in here, and separate it, slide the new lens in, and done. These, to do the same job, as you can see, the split is on the side of the hinges over there, so it means that there would be a little bit more involved, both removing the hinges completely to be able to separate it and then put this big lens in, which I'm sure it's a little bit more of a task than those. Not sure if that kit came with just a lens and the hardware, or if it actually came with this frame. I would be hoping that it would come with a frame and I would not have to worry about the splitting of this. Would be basically just remove the hinges, pop it out, and pop it in. So let's see what we got in the box.
I got this.
So anyway, and we have bought these hatches from Defender, and I find them to be one of the best suppliers for any Lumar boat parts. We've gotten quite a few items.
Drum roll.
Drum roll.
No.
It's just a lens.
Yep.
So hopefully.
Here we go.
Hopefully, those will spread pretty well. Will come apart pretty well. The screws are not stripped all over the place, and I'll be able to tap these back in. Those leak. Two that I'm replacing leak along the seal. That one does not leak, but it has a crack next to this area over here, and they're different color. The original colors is the crack that I refer to, right in here, and it's all speckled. So I want to do at least the two back ones and the other front one that leaks. That one identical to this on our berth leaks, and the one in the front windshield that leaks as well. So we'll be taking this one out and replacing. Let's see how that goes. But like I said, those are what they consider to be the Beneteau green, and you can see that those are brownish, purplish tint. The Beneteau green would have to be a special order, and this is the wrong size.
What?
These are the wrong size.
How did that happen?
I don't know. I measured these darn things. I matched it up with the chart, which was size 30 if I'm not mistaken, and that was the only thing that was remotely close to find out. Oh well, I have to verify and see if that's actually what I ordered.
I dream of sailing. You know I always dream of sailing. Take me far away, sailing. You know I always dream of sailing. Freedom on the seas, my love. Dancing on the waves to
see the camera. All right, a little disappointment. Unfortunately, today I will not be able to do the hatches. So we're going to focus on the second box. And we'll let you know what that is very soon. But meanwhile, let me get on the computer and see if that was my error on the ordering. Well, on the hatches, I contacted the vendor, which is the Fender. And like I was saying before, they're a pretty good company. Their prices are pretty reasonable. Well, their return policy is not as good. They sent me the instructions to ship it back, basically with just the address that it was going back to, but that's the costs are on me. It was on me to receive them. It's on me again to send it back. They were not able to help me with the correct size. I have to call Lumar itself next week and verify these sizes, and the numbers that are on their data sheet don't correspond with the numbers that I see over here. For instance, if I look at the code that's written up on the top of the lenses, which is this, okay, 3995443, these digits only. There's a reference on that, which this third set indicates the lens size. Well, when I look at this number, the lens size, it does not come anywhere remotely close to this. This is what I received. This 22 3/4 by 18 1/8 is what I need. And that 54 indicates that this is like 12 inches. The length is perfect, but the width is like 11 or 12 inches. So way off on this. Smaller than that 13.5 that I received. And that 13.5 is way too small. So I don't know how they have that reference number. So anyway, with me not being able to do that, well, I do have another package that I want to work on, and that is, let's do the drum roll again. So anyway, and this one is kind of odd because that's another replacement purchase. I ordered a brand new solar charger. MPPT 250-100 Victron solar charger. Reason for doing this is because I do have a good solar charger right now, which is an Outback, but the Outback is an 80 amp and it can support up to 150 volts or something like that. Well, if I put my solar panels in series, the amperage is just a little over that 80 amps that the solar charger can handle. And if I put them in parallel, because these panels are 46 volts each, the voltage is a little higher than what the solar charger can handle. So this one will handle up to 250 volts, which is awesome, and can handle 100 amps, which means I can probably run 1400 watts roughly on this unit, which is 200 watts less than what I got up here. So, and I will use the Outback for my last 3 panels that I recently put up on the top, but are not wired in yet because I did not have the MPPT to hook it up to, and I had some questions and how I was going to do it. So we're going to go downstairs where the other solar charger is and disconnect that one and hook it up into these terminals and see what the results are. Now, prior to this one, I had ordered the 150-100, which was still fine. I could still run all my solar panels to that particular one, but when I hooked it up, it gave me an off line or something like that. It gave me not an error, but saying, hey, you're not connected yet to your solar panels. So when I look at what would cause that, I would say you are under voltage, you have more voltage on the battery than what's coming in, and that was not the case because I had it coming in of 46 volts, I'm sorry, 46 volts coming in through the system, but it would not produce any power out of that, so it was not recognizing that. So I tried looking it up, see what would cause that, see if anybody had the same problem. I could not find anything. I could not find any information or get answers from the supplier, which was on Amazon. So with that, I did a return item, and I just ordered from another vendor, which has a phone number attached to it where you can contact them. Still on Amazon, but I bought the next one up just to be a little bit extra safe in case I want to change my solar system on how it's wired up. So let's go downstairs, and hopefully I can do a little bit of the video on this because it's very tight inside the closet where this is. And where this is at is in the closet where I was originally going to be placing my lathe, which of course I changed my mind on that to a much better location and not lose this whole thing. Now some of you noticed that I also recently redid my engine, and I did not do a last shot of the engine or it running. But anyway, this is what it looks like with a little bit of paint, the original pump and everything, and it's nice and clean, and it starts nice. It's a diesel still, so part of the reason why I went with a Victron also was because I can monitor it on my phone, and that's one thing that I wished the Outback gave us that opportunity, but it doesn't. I'm going to get a flashlight in here, but the area that I'm going to be installing is right here. Here's my Outback. Like I said, it's a nice unit. It's showing me that's today, even though it's been cloudy all day. I've got 1.3 kilowatts of power into the batteries, and it's still showing me that it's on a bulk state. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect the batteries coming into this one, and I have a breaker right here that disconnects the solar array. So I have no power coming from the solar here on these skinny wires, and of course I disconnect the batteries out there, and that will kill the whole thing. So right now you can see that I have 0 amps and 0 volts, 0 amps coming into the unit from the solar. So that is perfect. Babe, can you get me the flashlight?
Absolutely.
So under here where my electrical is, if I shut this off right here, or pop it in so it's not making contacts, this is from the solar charger right here coming in and goes back out to my distribution. So by doing that, when I go in there, thank you.
Yep.
When I go back in there, this unit should be off, which it is. I no longer have any power going to that. It's safe for me to disconnect and to get the other one in place. Let me see where I can put this and hopefully show a little bit of what I got going on. I apologize about this working conditions here, but I actually don't know how some people manage to get so much in. Now I already know from doing the install the last time, the first thing I got to do over here is disconnect this ground. So anyway, on the install that I did before, I realized that the ground coming from this one is was on the inside, and to the other one it's on the side, and where I'm going to be placing, I won't be able to put that in, so I will remove the ground wire, and that's the first thing I want to hook up before hanging up that other one. And this is a top-notch solar charger as well. Not saying it's the best, but it's definitely among the best out there. The only thing that I wish that Outback would do would be to give you the capability of doing wireless, or at least some way of monitoring it without me coming in here and pressing buttons to see where we stand. So, like I said, that's the one thing that I wish. I know that they sell a module that you can hardwire in to monitor it in a remote location, but running wires to my nav station or to a place that I could monitor it well would not be too easy. So, like I said, you know, these people have to think of boaters and what they have to deal with when it comes time to rewire anything. You know, getting a wire from here to the opposite hull, that would be quite an undertaking. So anyway, finish up my ground. This round out of the way. I'll put this back for later when I am doing the other one. And I put that ground over here just on the outside before to simplify it. It actually gets locked in here with this little lug, but I did not do that at the time. These fatter wires are definitely the battery hookups, and the maybe 8 gauge is from the solar panels. Now I should be able to pull all these out. Battery positive, battery negative. The positive from the solar is right here, and the other end is on this breaker right here. And this breaker right here, I'll be placing it directly underneath the new charger. So here's my positive going from the battery, from the solar panels, and my negative. First thing I will do is hook up the positive from the batteries. Actually the negative, but from the battery pack. This unit weighs a little bit. Nice heavy duty unit for sure, and that's gonna go right here. And actually my ground one on this one is out of the way. I can actually mount this up and then worry about the ground. So this is where it's going to go, right underneath my my air conditioning unit. These screws are fairly short because this wall, if I got too long of a screw, it's going to pop up on the other side. And right there. Okay, I think I got this more or less. Okay, that's one. Maybe another one of these screws right here. Okay, where's my water? Alright, so I'm going to ground it right to the chassis over here. The black. Hey, Amanda. From the solar panel. Okay, so I just turned on the battery power and I have this light flashing over here, which is the first indicator that it's on. Time to put on the solar. I'll make sure that I can connect Bluetooth before I actually do the solar and start charging on the batteries. Make sure I got set to the right profile. Retiring. That, I don't know what to make of that, because definitely I don't feel like I'm retired. And actually, in all reality, I'm actually back to work. So now I have to make time. Well, anyway, with the last one I installed, I had to download a Victron app. And that's what works with the system. So, okay, now it's updated. Continue. I fumbled around a little bit with the app and got it going. Today is really a cloudy day. Not not a good day to be showing the best case scenario on this. But it's showing me that out of my 4 panels, I only have 469 watts, which is just a little over 1 panel. Because there's 400 watts each, and I have 3 of them, so best case scenario would be 1200 watts over there. It's showing me a voltage of 38.78 volts, which is almost half of what 1 panel will produce, even though the way I got it wired, this will not exceed 46 volts, which is what each panel can produce. So this can only max out at 46 if I'm not mistaken. The current is showing me 12.9 amps coming in. The battery state is showing me that it's at 13.9 volts, and I'm curious about that because when I look at my readout of my, over there it says 13.3, and I'm using 9 amps. That's what's going out. So I still have to figure out exactly what that means on the boat. And if I look at my inverter charger up here, that corresponds pretty well with these lower numbers, 13.4 and 54 watts on the load. So I don't know. I know these things are coming directly from the solar, but I don't know how it relates to my battery state actually. So anyway, this seems to be working okay. I just have to figure out why I have numbers that are different here than I do off my shunt and everything else on the boat. Well, this was a little quick install of a non-professional installer on the Victron 250/100 solar power inverter. Replaced the Outback 80 amp, and that will be going to my new solar, so that should give me another 300. Those are 200 watt panels I got up there, so that will be another 600 watts coming in. That should be a nice increase in the battery's state of charge. Well, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Sorry, I was making lunch. Alright guys, thank you for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And hit the bell button so you can get notifications. So I'll see you guys next week. Bye.